Hello, happy crocheters. This is Lindsay from windingroadcrochet.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this spiral washcloth. For this washcloth, you just need some worsted weight or medium weight cotton yarn and a size H crochet hook. You will also need yarn needle, stitch marker, and scissors. To get started, we are going to make a magic circle, and this is my way of doing it. You start by making a slip knot, and you want to leave yourself about a 6-inch tail. Grab your hook and insert it into the loop and pull tight. We're then going to use that 6-inch tail and wrap it around our thumb. Making this loop, we are going to work 9 half double crochets into the loop that we made, working under both the loop and our yarn end. Go ahead and work 9 half double crochets into this loop. Once you have 9 half double crochets worked into that loop, you're going to grab your yarn end and pull tight. That's going to close up the center of our loop. To create round 2, we are going to continue to work in a continuous spiral. We are also going to be working into the stitch differently. Normally, when you insert your hook, you would insert it here, underneath the 2 loops. This is your front loop, and this is your back loop. We are going to be inserting our hook into the 3rd loop, which can be found on the back of your project underneath the back loop. So to review that one more time, that's the front loop, this is your back loop, turn forward, and this is the 3rd loop. Go ahead and add your stitch marker to the last stitch of round 1. And then we will begin round 2 working 2 half double crochets into the 3rd loop of the 1st stitch. It can be a little tough getting into that 1st stitch. So this is our first half double crochet, and then work a second half double crochet or work an increase in the 1st stitch. We are going to work an increase into every stitch of round 2. That will leave us with 18 half double crochets at the end of the row. Continue working 2 half double crochets into the 3rd loop of every stitch of round 2. When you make it to your last stitch, work 2 half double crochets into that stitch and move up your stitch marker. You can see where the 3rd loop is easily if you put your stitch marker under the front and back loop of the last stitch. Moving on to round 3 and all of the continuous rounds after this, we are going to be working in a stitch pattern. Our stitch pattern for round 3 is to half double crochet into the 1st stitch and work an increase into the 2nd stitch. This is all still being worked into the 3rd loop. You will then repeat this stitch pattern into the next 2 stitches and all the way around the project. So let's go ahead and do that. We are going to half double crochet into the 3rd loop. So front loop, back loop, and 3rd loop. Half double crochet into the 3rd loop of the 1st stitch and work 2 half double crochets or an increase into the 3rd loop of the following stitch. And simply repeat that stitch pattern all the way around your project. When you complete round 3, just move up your stitch marker. For round 4, we're going to work a half double crochet into the first 2 stitches, followed by an increase, and we will repeat that stitch pattern all the way around our project. So to do this, we're going to half double crochet. This entire project is worked into that third loop. So half double crochet in the third loop of the first stitch, in the third loop of the second stitch, and then work 2 half double crochets in the third loop of the third stitch. And then repeat the stitch pattern all the way around till you get to the end of the row. For round 5, we have moved up our stitch marker. We're going to start this row by working a half double crochet into the next 3 stitches, followed by an increase. And that stitch pattern will be repeated all the way around our project. So we're going to half double crochet into the first stitch, into the second stitch, and into the third stitch, and then work 2 half double crochets into the third loop of the fourth stitch. Take that stitch pattern and work it all the way around the round. By now you should be able to see your spiral pattern caused by working into that third loop. Moving on to round 6, our stitch pattern will be half double crochet into the first 4 stitches, followed by an increase. So half double crochet in the first stitch, half double crochet in the second stitch, half double crochet in the third stitch, into the fourth stitch, and 2 half double crochet into the fifth stitch. At the end of this row, after we repeat this stitch pattern 9 times, you'll have a total of 54 stitches. For round 7, our stitch pattern is half double crochet in the first 5 stitches, followed by an increase. And repeat that stitch pattern 9 times around your project. So half double crochet into the first stitch, half double crochet in the next, half double crochet in the third stitch, into the fourth stitch, into the fifth stitch, and then half double crochet 2 times into the sixth stitch. You should have a total of 63 half double crochet. On to round 8, we are almost done. You're going to start with half double crochets in the first 6 stitches, followed by an increase. So here we go. We're going to half double crochet in the first 6 stitches. After those 6 half double crochets, we will increase in the 7th stitch, and then take that stitch pattern and repeat it 9 times around your project for a total of 72 half double crochets. On to row 9. It is our last full round. We are going to half double crochet into the first 7 stitches, followed by an increase. So half double crochet into those first 7 stitches. Again, we are still working into the third loop. That has not changed. By now it kind of looks like we're working into the back loop because the front and the back loop have shifted forward. So work half double crochet into the first 7 stitches and then increase in the 8th stitch and repeat that all the way around. Once you get to the end of row 9, for row 10, we are only working 4 stitches. Working into the third loop, we are going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1 single crochet and another single crochet, and what we are doing is smoothing out our edge. Now we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. So 1 slip stitch into that third loop, and then another slip stitch. And there you have it. We've just smoothed out our edge. Now all we have to do is clip our yarn in, leaving about 6 inches so we can weave in our yarn tail. And then we are going to weave in our ends. And because this is a washcloth and it is going to get washed, you want to weave your ends back and forth at least 3 times so that they do not come out when you're washing your washcloth. Also, let me know in the comments, do you like when I use the graphs? It's something I've done in past videos, and people have said they liked it, and I'm trying to go back to using that in hopes that they make what we're doing a lot more clear. Just let me know. And there you have it. That is our finished washcloth. It's our spiral washcloth. I love this washcloth. I think it's unique. You could definitely make it larger. I hope you enjoyed the video tutorial, and we will see you next time.